and how you would, I guess, walk through that experience. So, welcome and happy Thursday to you. So, today I am talking about the lotus birth. Now, lotus birth is when you have your baby and you birth the placenta and you leave everything connected. You do not disconnect the baby from the placenta until the cord actually falls off of the belly button. So this is what some home birthers do. This is something that can be very spiritual, very like a traditional thing for you, where you leave your body connected to their life source until that cord dries and falls off on its own. Now, in order to do this, many people will have a bowl or a pail of some kind that they can easily move around. The great thing about a lotus birth, though, is it actually encourages a mom to stay put with their baby, to rest and recharge and just bond with their baby, because doing a lotus birth and leaving the baby attached to their placenta actually makes it harder to move them around. It also can help you keep your baby more to you, because it makes passing a baby around much harder. So, and I wouldn't say much harder, it's just that it makes it more cumbersome, because you always have to be aware of where the placenta and the bowl is in accordance to where the baby is, right? So if you're in bed and you're constantly just in bed with your baby, then nothing's being moved around and that cord is being allowed to dry on its own. So it inhibits people from coming and wanting to take your baby, and not honoring the fact that this is a newborn baby and you want to bond with it, that you don't want to share that time or space with other people. So it can discourage that from happening, but in a way that you're not having to actually enforce it. It just kind of happens because the baby isn't as easily passed around when they are still attached to their placenta. So for most people who do a lotus birth, they will leave like I said, they leave the placenta in a bowl or a container of some sort, and they use herbs and florals to cover the smell, and salt. So you're going to get a good sea salt, and you're going to sprinkle that and then have your herbs over it. It kind of helps it to go through its process and then dry up, but it also covers any smells that would be associated with that as it dries up and deteriorates. After the cord has fallen off naturally from the baby, which can take anywhere from 4 to 10 days generally, you would then do what you will with that placenta and cord. However, you could do a tree planting ceremony, like plant it under a tree or plant it with a seed. But putting it back into the earth is very popular with people who do lotus births, because it puts it back into the earth, and that those nutrients then go into the earth. So this is a lotus birth. I recently learned about the lotus birth and was really intrigued, and I hope to experience a lotus birth at some point in my journey with people I help along their pregnancy and childbirth journeys, because I think that it is a beautiful way of honoring your baby and that placenta that grew just for them, and allowing it to disconnect on its own, and then planting it with a ceremony of some sort that can be a tradition. And if you are somebody who owns your property, it's somewhere you can go back to and like revisit those memories of that birth as well. I hope you found this information helpful or interesting and maybe planted a seed for something you want to look at. Like, what are other options for your placenta after you have your baby? So, again, my name is Amanda. If you're in my group and you're watching this, I thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Leave your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. And if you're not in my group yet, I encourage you that if you are on your pregnancy and childbirth journey, that this is a place where you're going to find information, you're going to have seeds planted, and one thing you're going to gain is confidence in you, confidence in your body's ability to birth, to grow and birth your baby, and just general knowledge that is going to help you make decisions that's going to make your experience different. So I hope, again, that you enjoyed this. And if you do want to jump into my group, it's open-minded and empowered birthing mamas.